Post the presentation, we will take the questions and the management will answer them to the best of their ability. For virtual attendees, we request them to post their queries in the Q&A panel box. And before we start, allow me to introduce you the dignitaries on the dais. We have with us Mr. Digambar Bagde, Promoter and Executive Chairman, Transrail Lighting Limited. Mr. Randeep Narang, he is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Transrail Lighting Limited. Mr. Ajit Pratap Singh, Chief Financial Officer, Transrail Lighting Limited. And from the BRLMs, we have Mr. G.S. Ganesh, Founder and Partner, Inga Ventures Private Limited. Mr. Ashish Nigam, Managing Director, Axis Capital Limited. Mr. Mitul Shah, Head ECM HDFC Bank Limited. And Mr. Ashish Patjoshi, EVP IDBI Capital Markets and Securities Limited. I would now like to invite Mr. G.S. Ganesh to initiate the proceedings of the day.
Good afternoon, friends. On behalf of my colleague bankers and the company, extend a warm welcome and a big thanks to all of you who have joined us in this press meet to announce the IPO of Transrail Lighting. I know it's a crowded schedule and it looks so nice to have all of you in spite of all these pressures. I will like to keep it extremely simple because when you have an audio, the powerful presence of Mr. Bagde, there's very little I need to speak. I can say only one thing. In my lifespan as an investment banker, I have seen many corporates and they have their own cycle of good events, not so good events, struggle. I'm sure all of us have seen, as press fraternity, you have seen. The only differentiator in all these events is you need a founder to drive this phase with conviction, confidence, and commitment. This is where we believe we present a founder, Mr. Bagde. He has seen, probably he has sort of taken this company. I've been with him for almost 25 years. I've been with him, advising him on various occasions. I've never seen his commitment and conviction and that passion change, whether it was a good time or a not so good time. So we as bankers, we have a lot of pride and confidence in presenting Mr. Bagde and his team. It's a professional team for Transrail Lighting IPO. I'm sure they will satisfy your queries because they have immense experience in what they talk, not us. But as bankers, we have a lot of confidence that we are presenting a story in this market. One of the best stories to come. I don't want to talk about valuation because everyone knows about it. So thank you very much, Bagde sir, for giving the bankers the opportunity to present such a lovely story. And I'm sure press will carry the story to their fraternity, their readers. Please do that with right learners. I will request the AV team to present you by AV, post which the management will do the presentation. Thank you.
Giant dreams,
T&D sector and the railway electrification. That's why you will see the name Transrail. The whole purpose was to execute transmission lines. So for first 10 years, then I started executing transmission lines in Gujarat and Maharashtra and constructed many transmission lines. Thereafter, I thought that if you really want to sustain in this business, you should have backward integration. And therefore, the first plant for tower manufacturing was set up by me in 1994 in Vadodara. Thereafter, I thought that I should have further capacity addition, and I set up another plant near Nagpur for tower manufacturing. So that was not enough because that was actually taking care of only about 25 to 30% of the total cost of the EPC project. Then I went on adding one more factory at Silvassa for conductor manufacturing. So by setting up a factory for conductor manufacturing, then we covered almost 60% of the project cost. So when you are having a control of 60% of the project cost by way of supply of material, and 10% is only a bought out item from the outside third parties like insulators and hardwares, and construction of 30% is again under your control. So what you need is, for the sustainability of this business, you need very good engineering, where I focused on engineering. I myself being an engineer, having worked for 12 years in KEC International before starting this business. I was actually a design engineer, and then I moved to projects before I started this company. So my whole focus was engineering, developing engineering strength, control on the material cost, and control on the project management. So where you can control 90% of the cost by yourself. So during 40 years of my journey, we have actually constructed more than 35,000 circuit kilometer of transmission line, which covers maximum voltage of 800 kV, 765 kV, 400 kV, transmission lines for power grid, for international projects. We have built up complex lines in mountains, in the deserts, on the rivers, and we have actually acquired highest qualification to bid any kind of jobs in this country and outside country. And today we are regarded as one of the top 4 T&D companies in India. And when we bid for jobs outside India, there are only 3 bidders, and Transrail is one of the bidders from India. So first, we have been growing from 2000 onwards to 2008-9. We have been growing from 50 crores company to 1000 crores company, and you see that today we have grown to 4000 crores turnover in the last year. So the main focus for us was how to only focus on bottom line and cash flow management. And therefore you will find that historically Transrail has been making much better margins than our peers, because we have focused more on the margins because of backward integration, controlling cost, engineering strength, and project execution capabilities. We have also grown, order book wise also we have grown actually from 1984 to 2020. I myself was managing all the operations, and then I felt the need that we should go further internationally, because at that time, by 2020, our international revenues were around hardly 20%, and we wanted to grow internationally. And that is when, during that time, we picked up very high ranked, high profile professional, Mr. Randeep Narang, who has joined our company as a managing director in 2020, and he has got a very good pedigree of having worked 10 years in KEC International as a president. First 5 years he was managing domestic and SAARC, and next subsequent 5 years he was managing international business of KEC as a president. And before that he was managing director of SEAT Sri Lanka, and prior to that he was COO Airtel West, and then he lost the Airtel services in Mumbai as a CEO. And after Mr. Narang has joined, further the company has started growing internationally, and I am proud to say that today we are actually working in more than 22 countries, with more than 60% of the revenues are coming from the international projects. Thereafter we added some more verticals like railways, substations, and civil poles and lighting. And we have set up another plant in Silvassa for manufacturing of high mast and poles in the year 2010. So The company has grown last 3 years. You will find that we have grown substantially, almost 30% growth on year basis, very good margins. And we are expecting further to go because we have got every business vertical of ours has got very good growth potential. And Mr. We will present to you the business presentation, and you will realize that every business vertical of ours is poised for growth. And this company is definitely next 10 years you will see a huge growth.